Geometry, this is our chapter 1, section 1 vocabulary. So our first three words are point, line, and plane. So a point is a location. It can be anywhere in space, on a plane, or on a line. So a point is a location. We use a capital letter. It neither has a length, a width, or a height, but we use a dot. Grab a dot to signify a point. And then we put a capital letter with it. Okay, so that is point G. A line is made up of points and has no thickness or width. This is going to be a definition word for word you're going to need to know. It's going to show up. You put arrowheads on the end of your line to show that it goes on forever. You name it by 2 letters, or you use a lowercase scripted letter. So if I take my point up here that I was playing with before, okay. Oops, there we go. Control C, Control V. There we go. Here is a point. There is another point. And if I take a segment here, I can connect the 2 points, and there is a line segment. If I want to make it a line, I need to, come on, make this one go on that way and make this one go a little bit further that way. And then I need to put arrows on the ends of it. Okay, so that is now a line because it's got the arrows on the end of it, signifying it goes on and on and on forever. Then I need to label my points. So this could be point X, and this could be point K. There we go. So capital letters for points. My line, I could call this line X, K if I wanted to. But then we need to put either the word line in front of it, or you could just put XK, oops, XK, and then over top of it you can put a line. And make sure you put the arrows that go on forever in both directions. So you can say line XK, you can say XK and put the line over it, which is also red, line XK. And then also you can use a scripted letter. So if I use a scripted G, I like the scripted G. Oops, I don't want a capital G, I want a lowercase g. And I want to make it scripted. So let's find a script. I know, let's see, brush script is the topmost one. Brush script, there it is. Okay. And so there is a scripted G. So I can also say that this is G, and it's scripted G. Okay, so line XK, you can say line XK, or you can say G, which is line G. A plane. A plane is a 2-dimensional shape. It's got length and width. It goes on forever in 2 directions. It is a flat surface like a television screen, the floor, the wall, the ceiling. When you draw it on paper, we draw it as a parallelogram usually. And usually we have our parallelogram shaded in. So solid fill, oops, stop that. There we go. Solid fill that. And I can just turn up the transparency here. Okay, so there is my plane. Planes are named by 3 capital letters, by 3 points. 3 points, it says determines a line. So let me grab a point here. Oops, point. So point, point, point. There's 3 points. And then I need to name them. So A, B, and C. So I can say that this is plane ABC. Or I can call it by 1 letter. And planes are labeled by a capital letter. So I could say that this is capital, what's a good letter? Let's go with Q and see what capital Q looks like. So go back here, make it a capital Q. Again, brush script. Okay, so yeah, that looks an awful lot like 2, but that is a capital Q. So we've got plane ABC, and that's also equal to our capital Q. Also plane Q. So lines are capital letters, and they're signified by a dot. Line or points. Lines are going on forever in one direction. You can use a lower script letter, or you can use two letters, two of the capital letters. Planes go on forever in two different directions, length and width. You can use three letters to name a plane, or you can use the one capital scripted letter. Okay, colinear. Colinear. Grab a marker here. Has the word line right in it. So co means the same, and linear means line. So this is the same line. So if I say points are colinear, that just means they're on the same line. So non-colinear, non means not, so that would be not on the same line, and colinear means same, so on the same line. You also have coplanar, good coplanar down below. So space. Space is 3 dimensions. You've got a length and a width, so you've got your normal x and y, and then you also have this depth part to it. So space has a right to left and up and down and a back and forth, so you go in 3 different dimensions. And space contains lines and planes. And points. You can have points in space too. Plane. A plane is a flat surface made up of points. Can we just do plane on the last one? Oh, but I'm talking about here I think I've covered everything in plane. You can read that if you want, but I covered that. Coplanar, 3 points, points that are on the same line are considered to be coplanar. So if I had a point that was on this axis, a point that's on this axis, and a point that's on this axis, they would still be coplanar because 3 points make up a line. I can have this plane that goes, that's really bad. Let me use a line tool. I can go here, back there, and back up here, and you've got a plane that's going diagonal there. If I add a 4th point though, this 4th point maybe down here, that point would not be coplanar with those 3. So not in the same plane. So 3 points are always in the same plane. A 4th point doesn't necessarily have to be in the same plane. So coplanar and not coplanar, non-coplanar. And then undefined terms. Yeah, we've tried to define some things, but we've got some basic building blocks here. And point, line, and plane are things that really, you can describe them, but they don't have a true definition to them. So these are the 3 words that we consider to be not defined. So point, line, and plane. All other words can be defined, broken down maybe to this level, point, line, and plane, but those are your bare basics.